Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reece's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reece's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reece's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome to another edition of Chelsea Match Preview Show and plus the lineup prediction exercise. I do hope you're all doing well. Thank you and thank you once again. Today's going to be a mashup of Chelsea news and also match preview exercise. Our home game against Sunderland, the promoted side. Tomorrow, it's going to be a tough game. It's not going to be easy, although on paper, we should be mopping the Stamford Bridge carpet with them. But football isn't scripted. It's played over 90 minutes plus added time, and if you put in the work needed to win and a bit of luck, you get a win. But thank you. More importantly, thank you for 5 likes already. I appreciate that. Make it the usual. Because we're streaming in a vertical format, usually people find it difficult to find a like button or the like, whatever you want to call it, to support the show. What you do is just double tap your screen. Before, I used to advise people to press and hold your screens for just about a second, but just double tap your screen and you help us garner more likes, which will in turn trigger the YouTube algorithm and force it to push the stream to more people who be interested in the topics we'll have lined up today. So let's get onto it without wasting much of your time. But one good news before we continue is that YouTube, they've introduced a new feature which will allow content creators to stream both in vertical and landscape of formats, which in turn will allow them to cater for variations of their followers, if that makes sense. But by the way, let's get into it. The first item here, a good one, good news. Liam Delap is resumed full training with his teammates. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I read that during earlier in the day, which is a huge news for Enzo Maresca and us as the fans. We signed him, played a few games for us, and got injured. Yeah, you could say that has led to some struggles in that department a bit, but he's back, and the manager did say that he'd be available for selection for our game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Is that how you say it? I hope I'm not butchering that name. But against Wolves, that's the most, again, how people like to say it, especially foreign fans, non-domestic fans. I think that's the most accurate way to say it. So he's going to make a huge difference. And let me say something, maybe if you weren't paying attention. Our game, I think it was against Nottingham Forest, when Mark Gui was introduced as number 9, which allowed João Pedro the independence to operate fully. I know, yeah, the truth remains he's always played with freedom, independence, or whatever you want to call it. But knowing that he had a more traditional number 9 on the pitch on that day, it was so good to watch him drop in, participate in the play, orchestrating dribbles, even on the flanks. So this guy will make a whole lot of difference for us. I like Mark Gui, but yeah, the difference is clear. His experience, he has more experience in the Premier League, and more experience overall. And it'd be accurate to say he's the much better player of the two. Gui is still maturing, not quite there yet. So we go full news hunting now. We've looked at that. Need to see if there are interesting items on my bros X timeline. Interesting stuff to talk about there. I like doing that. I trust him. Always keeps it objective. That's one of the main reasons why I like going news hunting on his timeline. This first one we're not going to read. I think it's something he's paid for. So this one, his opinion, I think, whose opinion? Oliver K predicts a Chelsea to beat Sunderland. And let's read through that particular report. There it says, I say this every week, but I've been so impressed by Sunderland. It's not only the 4 wins and 2 draws, it's also how competitive they've been in every game. I expect the same at Stamford Bridge, but Chelsea have won their last 4 in all competitions. And while this will be a tougher test than Nottingham Forest or Ajax in their past 2, they should have enough quality to make it 5 victories in a row. Chelsea 2, Sunderland 1. There's also something we will look at, but let's just go news hunting first. Come back to the match prediction exercise proper. Then we will look at what I told you about. Interesting stuff that, yeah, if we go by what numbers tell us, yeah, definitely win for Chelsea. We should be mopping the Stamford Bridge carpet with them. But football doesn't work like that. And once again, I should have started off with this. I have to apologize because this show was scheduled for as the Blue Morning show, but had to be rescheduled because we had a storm at the time that affected our internet connection. No need to start a show when you don't have a stable internet connection. It can be annoying. So let's see. Some stuff popping up about Palmer. I think some people are concerned that there's a chance he misses out from England's World Cup squad. I'm not sure that happens. I think he'll still be um, part of it. Why do I say that? He's an excellent player, unique. I don't think England has any other player you could say that plays the same way that he plays or his qualities. England has a lot of quality, does have a lot of quality players, but Palmer is unique in his own way. I think the fact that we've decided to let him stay off the pitch, recover fully, I think that would do him a world of favor, which means he'd be fit enough to be included in England's World Cup. We're not again. We're not. We haven't selfishly, you can say, brought him back into the fold to continue playing him even without injury, like we did a month ago or so, and aggravate the situation. I don't think it makes sense to do such things. So I'm happy while allowing him take all the time he needs to recover and recover fully. I think that will go a long way. All right. Yeah, my brother here says we will win. Yeah, I hope so. But listen, numbers say we're definitely winning. But as I've said before, football is played over 90 minutes plus added time. You just cannot script the game. Yeah, not possible. Anything can happen. And that's why we called what's called underdogs. But yeah, this sort of game, this confidence will beat them. But let's see what happens. So, Cole Palmer's injury layoff is viewed as necessary short-term loss in order to protect him long-term. Common sense, and I like the way we manage the fitness of our players these days, irrespective of our situation on how many players we have out injured. We don't rush them back. We give them back time enough to recover and recover fully and stay fit. More importantly, if need be, we advise him to go under the knife and get done with the situation once and for all. But in this case, we've learned that he doesn't need to go on the treatment table or under the knife, if that's the term you prefer, and that's good. Just recover, take your time, take a break off the pitch, recover and recover fully. The club regard Palmer as a generational talent. They wanted to get the best out of him for the next 10 years, not the next 10 matches. This is well, you could say a well prepared statement actually, and yeah, I think it's structured in a manner that yeah, even a lame person will read it and say, yeah, you know what, we're doing the right thing here. Cole Palmer's injury layoff, I think that's the same report. No need to read it once again. Anything new here? Club sources indicate fans will also need to be patient over Cole Palmer's return from a growing injury. Yep, we need to be patient. We need to understand that he needs time off the pitch to recover and recover fully, irrespective of whatever situation we find ourselves in. We don't have to rush him back and risk him aggravating the situation, and then yeah, stay off the pitch for a prolonged period of time. I don't want such risk. I think we're doing the right thing, and we have enough talent to actually come in and one of which can come in his place and still do a good enough job, and sometimes even better job. No need to name names, but yeah, I think we have cover for him. I get it. He makes us better, irrespective of how good those players that I've talked about, how good they are. Palmer is just Palmer. He's different. He's different, so to speak. According to club sources, the philosophy around Chelsea's squad management remains similar. Making in-game changes and midweek rotations should be expected over the coming months, and that's especially that would be the case this month and the coming month because the games are coming in thick and fast. I think we did look at it a month ago or so, or maybe 3 weeks ago, at least. The games are coming in 5 days, every 5 days. I think at most 4 days actually, at most 5 days. Thank goodness for the international break that gave us a lot more time to rest the players and maybe train more. Give the manager enough time to train the players and plan for the rotation. rotation is key. You don't want to run the bus or maybe drive the bus until the wheels fall off. It's a huge risk. I'm happy, and that win yesterday, even though the manager made a lot of changes, that win yesterday I think would do the squad a world of good. Whoever comes on would do a very good job because now they have confidence. Even the kids within the squad, they had a lot of fun mopping the stadium floor with Ajax, which gives them a lot of confidence. But that's fine. We keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Not too many people following the show. Probably, yeah. YouTube got tired because we postponed it like 2 times. But it's okay. Apologies to our followers, more importantly. It wasn't on papers. We had to because we don't want to, you could say, we don't want to air a half-baked show where you're not going to be able to be hearing what I'll be saying. So, yeah, Maresca has a mandate from the club to focus on long-term fitness, keeping the squad fit to perform at their best throughout the season. Throughout the season comes before the pressure of winning one upcoming game. It's common sense. Long-term, again, if that will go a long way for us, and not just focus on immediate result and then end the season in a bad way. Anything else here? Anything else here? Okay, that's Vince's on post, which reads, our injury list is down to 4 players, consisting of Cole Palmer, Benoit Badeshile, Levi Cole, April 2026. Well, no, that Dario Isugo, I don't remember his return date, but when I get to the tab of footnote, we'll look at that. So yeah, not bad. We've had a situation again on that porch. I think we had at the time we had about 12 players out injured. Okay, this looks more like Vince's opinion. Yep, and that's exactly what it is. He reads the fact that that Delap is already back in full training means he has been training alone for a week or more. That explains why Maresca said he will be available for selection against Wolves. Such a massive news. João Pedro needs to play as 10 and Delap as a focal point solves a lot of problems for us in attack. Yeah, João Pedro, in the absence of Matt Gui and Liam Delap, has looked isolated at times and frustrated. And I was concerned that at some point that he was going to start getting frustrated and not give 100% on the pitch. But yeah, he's been excellent for us, irrespective of the fact that it was clear that he not traditionally a 9, even though he tell you he's a 9. Nothing else here. I think that's it. Nothing else here again. Yeah, so let's get on with it. I wanted us to look at this from Data MB or Data MB, however you want to pronounce it, whatever works for you. So this is the Chelsea team comparison. Chelsea compared it to Sunderland. I mean, it's not even close, which is why I said numbers tell us that Chelsea will mop Stamford Bridge. Sorry, I can't speak. That Chelsea will mop the Stamford Bridge carpet with Sunderland. But once again, B1 football is played over 90 minutes plus added time, and that is why we have what is called underdogs. On paper, we should be beating them with a lot of goals. So look at this. Attacking, we're miles ahead of them. Goals, miles ahead of them. Pressing, we press much better than them. You could argue they don't risk a lot. Maybe I haven't actually watched them enough this season to be able to tell how they apply themselves on the pitch exactly. But that shows that for me, if they don't press that well, again, the opposite will be the case, which means they probably know how to defend it. I'm not too sure. Physicality measures, the same thing. Defending was slightly better than them defensively. And again, it's important to note it depends on the pairing we have on the pitch tomorrow or who starts. Counters, we're way better than them in that possession, of course. But let's read the aspect of a spider graph that are presented with numbers. Okay, goals. Yeah, 87.9. Okay, attacking 70.0, where theirs is just 11.7. Possession 77, average of 77.6. Theirs is 29.3. Counters 61.8. Theirs is 25 points. But it depends who you say the teams they played against. Yeah, let's see. And the defending 74, slightly better than them. Physicality 70.2 for each side. So we'll measure in that aspect. Again, it depends on the pairing we have in the centre back position on our end. Pressing 63.4 to theirs 24.4. Way better. Once again, numbers say, yeah, we should be mopping Stamford Bridge carpet with them. But it's important to always remember football is played over 90 minutes. 90 minutes plus added time. You cannot script the game. Anything can happen, but I'm confident we're going to beat them. If the opposite happens, then yeah, it's football. All right, we get to FODMAP. Something I usually like to do. Let me see if I can do that quickly. Google Insight, more like comes with history, not just insights, not basic insights. So let me find it. It's enjoyable actually to read. Give me 1 second here. Let me do this. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of your way. I apologize, guys. Sincerely do apologize. Okay, I need that. Give me 1 moment here. No, I don't need that. But I need this page. But yeah, if you're there, if you're probably late for a lot of people, let me know if you're looking forward to the game. It'd be interesting to see what you have to say. Is this a page I'm looking for? Give me 1 second here. What am I doing? Okay, that might be it. Let me take care of something quickly here. I'll come back to that window. Let's see. What was I looking for? Oh, the Google thing. Okay, this is probably the page I should be working with here. Give me 1 second here. More likes, people. 8 likes. We can do a lot better than that. If you haven't, please take a second, drop a like on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So I wanted to come here and do Google. My bro is in the house in GFC. Golden! Nice to see you. The Delap news, wow, it makes me very, very happy. I did not expect him to be back this soon. And what's his name? Ryan, aka Carlito, he nailed it, did the calculation, and spot on. Because yeah, he calculated people when factoring into the weeks maybe of the international break, but he did and timed his return perfectly. Yeah. Give me 1 second here. Let me find the insights from Google. I like reading it, more like history. 1 second, people. Yep, 9 likes. You can do a lot better than that. If you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the video and also do subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, we're getting closer and closer to 30,000 subscribers. And be rest assured, we'll start streaming consistently every day. And also, Reggie Wash. Another important news is that Reggie Wash signed a new Walsh. How do I pronounce? Signed a new contract. I like the kid from what I've seen so far, but he reminds me of what's his name, Billy Gilmore. I liked that kid a lot, and I didn't want Chelsea to sell him, but he wanted to leave. I think he was under Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel actually liked he liked him a lot, but Gilmore wanted to be playing, and you could say had to go leave the club to go find game time. Okay, I was looking for this overview. I'm looking for the insights here. Give me 1 second. I'll come back to that page. 1 second. Oh my goodness. Why am I not seeing it? Um, 1 sec, people. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Show us the schedule. Okay, this is it. This particular game. It looks like this time they don't have the insights that I'm looking for. The overview here. Yeah, they don't have it this time, so we're just gonna go ahead with our conversation. But keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join. All right, let's see what do we have here. Let's continue with this guy. Google didn't have such for us today. Let's see, and I'm quite sure you guys heard what Enzo Maresca said about what he said about what's his name, Estevão Willian. The kid is so humble. And I think you can argue, some are arguing that that's the case. He was having a dig at Nani Madueke, which we Chelsea fans knew at the time that he's full of himself. That he was full of himself. Plays well today, and tomorrow he'll be SHITTY. The way he carries himself, you'd know that he feels he's that sort of individual that feels like he knows better than everybody. But that's fine. We keep dropping the likes on the shin, people. The likes do go a long way. But he says Estevao is very humble. He plays well, but he's eager to learn. And that makes me happy. Big up GFC. Go good! Nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. And we have Angel Panesia Ata, my Colombian brother. Nice to see you. You got Colombian coffee for me, bro. Let me know. But always nice to see you. It's been a minute. How are you doing? Up the Charles, indeed. It says, good to see you, brotherly. We winning tomorrow. I hope we win. But I'm not the sort of person that, because of what numbers tell us, the disparity in quality in each of the team's squad, just say, yeah, we're definitely winning. We should be winning. Whether we end up winning tomorrow, that's the question for the manager and the players to answer. And we will look at the numbers and see what the numbers tell us. But nice to see you. All right, what do we have here? So FODMOB thinks that this will be Chelsea starting 11. They think we'll have Sanchez between the sticks. Definitely, I believe that. Cucurella comes on. Yeah, because he didn't play the last game. He was arrested. We had Yuri Hato play. I think he played 90 minutes. Right back, Reece James. Did he play at all? He didn't play, right? He didn't even come onto the pitch. Then Tosin and Chalobah. I don't think you beat Tosin and Chalobah. I think it'd be Josh Achampong and Chalobah. But that's my opinion. 2-6 Enzo Fernandez comes back into the fold, paired with, forget about the application. We know the application is usually something like a 3-2-4-1, but let's stick with 4-2-3-1. We call it a starting structure. So the 2-6 is Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. João Pedro as a 10. I want to see that. I seriously do want to see that, because I get it. Ask him, he'll tell you he's a number 9. But the truth remains, as a number 9, we're wasting his talent. He's a good dribbler. He's excellent at orchestrating, what's the correct term for it? 1-2s is a play. If it's for those that play PlayStation, but I think it's relatable. Interplays is his thing. Quick interplays, and if you develop good chemistry with him, we can play. You can say we can play so nicely against low blocks and break him down like this. He's that good at orchestrating the interplays or 1-2s, and he can finish. Playing him as a number 9, he will give you. He still give 150%. But since, again, if you paid attention, the absence of Liam Delap, Mark Gui, he's struggled a bit. And Cole Palmer too. He struggled a bit, doesn't look his best. That's not because he's not fully fit. I get at some point we heard that he was not fully fit, was carrying a knock or something like that. But if you give him the independence to operate freely, or the freedom to operate freely, or maybe just play him as a second striker if you want to, just if you like play him as a 10, you see the best of João Pedro. Look at how smoothly he operated the moment Motgui was introduced against Nottingham Forest, and he had the independence to express himself. It was enjoyable to watch, and you could argue we played better when that happened. So yeah, I don't want to see him as a number 9 again, but you could argue that him playing as a number 9 and in the manner at which he applied himself in those games, we had no option to do that because we had no other traditional number 9s. It was just between him. He's not a traditional number 9 actually, but we just had to use him as a number 9 or use what's his name, Tyreek George. Yeah. But let's see. It feels refreshing to see the lad back. That news makes me happy. I did not expect that. Honestly, I did not. I did not expect him to be back and be training with the first team, and even the manager to the measure of the manager saying he'd be available for selection for the game against Wolves. He's superhuman, as Jan would said in his video. So let's see what we have here. Tony Sio, big up to you, my bro. I had a spider graph on. Did you see it? I know it's your thing. Like me, you're a sucker for a good graph, or a good, you can say, numbers of representation. Let me phrase it that way because I like spider graphs. I like what's the other one? Venn diagrams. I like diagrams a lot. I like visual representation of numbers. It makes me. I'm a sucker for those. But nice to see you. I know you loved them so much. You told me. I hope you were paying attention when I had them up. So keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation. 1 second here. 1 second. Give me a second. Let me do something quickly. Yeah. So you missed it. You missed it. All right. So they believe João Pedro will play as center, Mark Gui will start. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. Gui he's a beast at pressing. I don't think there's any other player at Chelsea that presses as effectively as Mark Gui does. Pedro Neto, yes. I think here's the only place I disagree here. I think we'll have Estevao on the bench. Once again, the games are coming in thick and fast. So we don't want to, you can say, put our whole entire, you can say, the whole eggs in a single basket. That we're begging for it. And and Estevao himself did play in the Club World Cup, which is a factor to consider. So if we can play without him and still get a result, why start him? Just have him on the bench if need be. Introduce him to come make a change. I think we'd see Pedro Neto on the right hand side and Garnacho on the left hand side with Estevao on the bench. Yeah, just not to give him too much space to become rusty. If need be, the manager will bring him up. Introduce him early on in the game. If not, then it'd be just to get a few minutes to stay match fit. Yeah, exactly. Spider chat, yeah. And then I love those, honestly. Visual representation of numbers gives me a lot of joy. Yeah, let's see. What else do we have here? Okay, I'm going to vote as usual. That's part of the tradition. So I'm going to vote. Let me guess. I think 70% plus will, or maybe at least 67% will choose Chelsea to beat Sunderland. Let's see. Let's go for it. Boom. Yep. 65% believes Chelsea will beat Sunderland. 23% believes the game will end in a draw. And 12% believes Sunderland will beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And that's a sample size of 57,494. So that's a lot. But here's the thing. The truth remains, even though numbers tell us that Chelsea will be the most likely winner of that game, this poll is not there's nothing scientific about it, so the sample size doesn't really matter because a Chelsea fan will most likely pick Chelsea to win, and even neutrals, given the disparity in quality between the two squads, will pick Chelsea to win. So nothing scientific about that. It's just more of a reflection of who which of the teams people the average football fan believe will come out on top at the end of the game. So yeah, let's see. Angel Panesia Ata, my Colombian friend, says, in my opinion, I think we should give Estevao more time to grow into the game. He still has a lot more to develop. Yeah, I think we should. His integration process, I've always known, will be a gradual process, and I think Maresca, I think he's doing it well. He's doing it really, really well. He's not letting the fans dictate how he uses them. So he understands it has to be a gradual process. You don't want to put. I get it. I'd say this. There's no bigger pressure than playing for the Brazilian national team. But the truth remains, you don't want to put that much pressure. I think, according to my friend Bry, which she had a post on X, and I said, yeah, there's no bigger pressure than representing the Brazilian national team, and she responded, but he had, you could say, all the shoulders maybe around him, like Casemiro, Rafinha, and the others. So not that much of a pressure. It wasn't about him. So we don't want to make it because if the manager let the fans' opinion drive his usage of Estevão Willian, it probably put him under a lot of pressure, which could end up being too much for him, weigh his development down, and add the insight for his development. So Maresca is handling it very well. He played football himself. I get it, being a manager is different than altogether, but probably as someone that has played the game, probably knows what how much of an issue pressure can be on a player, if that makes sense. As well as Hato, he's still 19, isn't he? Is it 20 yet? He's not. So I think the integration process should be gradual. And I read something that Hato said online. He understands that he needs to that his adaptation to the Premier League will be gradual. It will not be drastic, and I think the manager also he's done it well. And there's a talent there. The manager knows that, but he also, more importantly, understands it has to be a gradual process. And I'm happy. I knew he was going to play against Ajax. I'm happy he played. He did well. Didn't try to overthink things. Kept it as simple as possible, and I'd say, yeah, I'm happy for him. So Hato is looking like a great that he is. He's 19, but he was Ajax's captain before they sold him to us. He has that leadership quality that's rare. It comes naturally to him, and eventually he will start showing it at Chelsea. And I'm happy that we signed him. At the price actually we got him for, excellent price in my opinion. So let's look at for top scorers. Enzo Fernandez has 3 goals, and I think Caicedo also has 3 goals. It's just that they can't add 2 people. In the Premier League, how many goals does Caicedo have? 1 against Liverpool. He's got 1 against Liverpool. Which one again? How many goals does he have in the Premier League? I can't quite remember, but I checked. Maybe what I looked at was their overall goal in all competitions. But that's by the way. Expected goals for Enzo Fernandez is 3.75. Expected goals for Isidro. I hope I'm not butchering his name. 1.29. Assists in the Premier League, Enzo Fernandez has 1. Assist in the Premier League, Isidro has none. Matches played, Isidro played 8. Enzo Fernandez played 7. So Enzo Fernandez not bad for both. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Insights. Where are the insights? I pay attention a lot to this. Okay, this says Chelsea have scored 12 goals in their last 5 matches. Okay, Sunderland have scored 4 goals in their last 5 matches. Again, these are just numbers. Whereas numbers can give you a sensible idea with regards to which of the teams will most likely win the game, it's not a certainty. It's not. Football is played over 90 minutes plus added. Let's see. What else do we have? The second inside item reads that Chelsea have won the previous 2 matches against Sunderland. Okay. But I don't pay attention to that a lot. This is probably an entirely new Sunderland squad. I have not been paying attention to their squad changes and all that, but most likely, or maybe a lot of changes. So that will not that the fact that we've won at a previous match, 2 previous matches against them, I don't think will have any mental effect on them, because yeah, that's a factor. History is a factor. It plays into the minds of players knowing that yeah, you haven't won against a particular team. For instance, in 9 attempts, winning the 11, beating them in the 10th attempt, usually difficult. It takes a lot of mental strength, because at the same time, yeah, you have your qualities as a squad, but at the same time, you have a mental battle that you have to win, which is usually not easy. But that's by the way. So this says Granit Xhaka, former Arsenal man, is ranked third in big chances created in the competitions. Here's where I'm concerned. I don't think I've seen a lot of that this season. I think we had that issue under Mauricio Pochettino, where we leave players we don't what's the language I'm looking for, we don't close up players and give them a lot of space, allowing them to have a go at our post. Xhaka can shoot very well. He can shoot very well. So if we give him the slightest of spaces, chances are he'll score. But let's see. And the last one, we average 2 goals per match. That's important. Robin Rolfe is ranked 3rd in saves per match in the competition at 3.4. I'm not concerned about that. To some extent, it reflects the fact that he's a good goalkeeper, but it's also reflects the fact that maybe teams break them down easily, or maybe they have a bad defensive line. And again, I have to be honest, I haven't watched them enough this season to be able to have a good idea with regards to how they apply themselves. So look at it. For Chelsea's last 5 games, we scored 5 goals there, 3 here. That's 8, 2 here, 10, 11, 12 goals. I think we've actually right. And they scored 2 here, 1 here, 3, 4 goals. So everything. Just this is what we looked at. The spider chart shows us. Yeah, numbers say Chelsea will be the most likely winner. Not even close if we're going by what the numbers tell us. If you look at that spider chart here, we're practically enveloping them in every metric. Chelsea enveloped them in terms of that the gap between metrics is set for physicality and also defending. Those are the 2 metrics where maybe on par in terms of physicality. Where's our physicality here? Yep, 70.2 for us. But for defending was slightly better. Defending, for us 74.0, them 71.0. But again, it depends on who the manager feels on the pairing we have on the pitch if our defenders are serious on the day. So yeah, let's see what else do we have there. I don't think there's anything else to look in here, and as soon as we can get this done, I'd be happy. For us, team news: Ben Webber to Chile, he was back early December, and I'm sorry, but it's funny, and it's a fact actually. He just seems to be injured during again every transfer window, but I've always known that the club Chelsea aren't looking to sell him. He's a good player. We just need to find a way to manage his fitness. He's the closest to Levi Colwell in terms of passing range. And he has actually a lot more to his game than Levi Colwell. I think he's better aerially. But in terms of the passing, Levi Colwell way better, but he's the closest to Levi Colwell in terms of passing range. Maybe had to, but I don't know. I have to pay attention to his passing ability. Levi Colwell, April 2026, we know that. Malo Gusto has a virus, but he's suspended. So forget about the virus, whether he has one or not. Why are they misinforming people here? I'm questioning what I know, but I'm quite sure he's suspended. And but the status reads that he has a virus. Cole Palmer, growing injury, left November, and I've spoken at length, and I'm happy. Let him take all the time he needs to recover and recover fully, stay fit, more importantly. And I don't think we should, because of his importance to the squad and the fact that if he's available, he makes us way better than we are, risk aggravating the situation by allowing him play with the issues. The issue has been nothing for a while now. It just doesn't make any sort of sense. So I'm happy that we've decided just take all the time you need, recover. Long term is important. More long term gain is more important than the short term gain, and I'm happy for that. Enzo Maresca says Hato is looking like a proper six to cover up for Kowe. Yeah, he can do that. I think he can also play in the midfield. He can also play as a wing back. He's so calm on the ball. I'm I'm happy we signed him. Um, but eventually he will come good and good. I wouldn't call him backup. I think he rotates good enough. I think it'd be correct to say to use the term a rotational player for Kukurea because if he no, once he becomes properly integrated and properly can adapt properly to the pace and physicality of the Premier League, I think we Kukurea will you can say will last long for us because we're not gonna drain the life out of him or maybe play him until he burns out. But that's fine. We keep dropping the likes and wishing people the likes and do go a long way. I have my bro on the panel here in Bamford. Big up, bro. How are you doing? Thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. I hope you're doing well.
Coachila, I'm good. What about you?
I can't complain, bro. I can't complain.
Finally, at least Nigeria have some lifeline, so I think you are happy now. I was wishing
Sorry?
Nigeria. I said Nigeria have lifeline right now to qualify to the World Cup.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the
Still,
international break.
yes.
Yeah.
Do I think Nigeria deserves to be there?
No,
For
I
what I'm
don't
saying,
think so.
I'd say no. In all honesty, but
Because
sometimes the most
how
dangerous
can they
teams, yeah.
how can they qualify ahead of Burkina Faso, who had more
I mean,
points?
I'm not paying attention to that logic because the logic existed before the situation emerged. That's why I'm not
Yeah.
too concerned about the logic again, they used to decide who makes it through because it existed
You
before the
know,
situation
sport.
favored Nigeria.
This is called sport for the boys. They are trying to get some sport for Osimhen and all those guys because after this World Cup, if Osimhen is not able to go to the World Cup, it's hardly he might never go to the World Cup as a great player. So probably they just want to find ways for him to be at the World Cup at all
I mean,
costs. So
and again, you could say the popularity of Nigeria in the competition. That's a chance. That's a chance.
exactly
That's the case.
the
But
brand.
I'm
Yep.
not. Here's the. I'm just going to leave it at what I told you. The formula existed before the
Mhm.
situation emerged and favored Nigeria. That's just
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Well,
All right,
big up and thank you. I sent you a link. Just whenever you have time, just look at it.
sure.
And by the way, quickly, IB episode 3 dropped today, so check it out. But let's talk football. Let's talk Chelsea Football Club. Are you looking forward to this game? Let's hear you. Your first.
Yeah, so looking at the game that we are playing tomorrow, people should be very careful and we should lower the expectation a little bit because I was looking at Sunderland's roster, and to be honest with you, they have some players who have tormented us over the years, and they are going to be there tomorrow. That makes it a bit, sketchy. If you
Mm.
have the likes of Traore, veteran Traore, who is a Chelsea boy. They also have this guy from Arsenal, former Arsenal player. Is it Shaka
Zaka.
or Zaka? Yeah, and they also have Masawuka Ata Masuaka or whatever. He scored against Chelsea, I think, about 3 seasons ago when he was with West Ham. They also have Brian Broby. These are household names who can, at any given time come in and give us a very good game. So I believe looking at our performance lately, we are not that great and we are not that bad. At the end of the day, we normally win our games. So it's going to be one of those difficult games. Let's look at it like Chelsea against Brentford. And they have to make extra, effort to get the 3 points. If they are able to get the 3 points tomorrow, I believe we will be in the title, contention because looking at our points right now, we are just
You did tell me that you believe we can win it.
yeah, I still think we can win the league. I honestly think we can win the league. Liverpool is not doing that great. Arsenal looks normal to me. Man City also are going through transition. So if our guys come back, the likes of Palmer and all those on the injury list, if they are able to come back on time, we should be able to win the league. Because if you look at the performance so far, we are not doing that bad. At the end of the day, even if we perform
Just
so
you can
bad,
say the difference is just minute difference. Just look, our performances are you say we're lacking just a few things here
yes.
and there.
But I'll even account it to the injuries that we are having right now. I have to be honest with you. If we have all our players around, I still think we are going to give a whole lot of competitions to our rivals because we don't have enough players right now. A lot of them are on the injury list, and we are still striving hard. And there is something I even I'm just looking at it right now. I'm talking about Josh Achampon. It seems that guy is really making advantage of whatever he has right now. He has gotten the opportunity, and he's just making an inclusion into the team right now. If
And the manager likes him.
yeah, if Kowal comes back, I don't know. And even by their show, the last game he played before the injury, he was very impressive. So if all these guys come back, they are going to give Maresca a headache. But it's good. You need team where there is a lot of competition, where you can have various options, especially when you are playing different competitions. So I believe the team is really doing good, and I still think that we are going to win the league. I always tell people that it's most likely we can win the league. Let's win against all the top teams, the big four. If we are able to grab some points with them, and we beat the mid teams, and we destroy the lower teams, we stand a chance of winning because right now it's just like 4 points separating us from the top of the league. I think Arsenal. So if we are able to grab something tomorrow and Arsenal slip, because Arsenal is going to play with Brighton. No, uh, am I right? I think Arsenal is playing with Brighton
And
also.
let me
So
open the schedule. Go ahead. Let me open the schedule.
yeah, I think no, Brighton is playing with Manchester United. At Arsenal game, I don't know. They might have an easy path, but if
Arsenal
Chelsea
are
should,
playing Crystal Palace.
oh
You can
no,
say they have the most difficult game of the week.
yeah, yeah. Then
That's the most difficult because Crystal
Mateta.
Palace, my
Hmm.
goodness,
Yeah,
they've been. You can say they're the giant slayers of the league.
yeah. But people don't know Mateta is underrated guy right now in the league. This guy,
You can say Mateta is good, but Oliver Glasner is that his name. The manager, he's a brilliant tactician,
yes,
and
he has
my
bring the He has
My
really
word,
brought the best out of the guys.
he's shocked a lot of the big name managers in the Premier League. But go ahead with
Yep.
what you were saying.
Yeah. So if Arsenal sleep tomorrow and we are able to grab the 3 points, now it will be 1 point difference. You understand? So they have to work so hard. Man City is coming into the game right now. They are coming into the league. Arsenal slept. Man City are also probably going to slip, or maybe even if they get 3 points, we have to be at the back of them. We need to be at the back of them. So maybe after the end of this year, and if
Mm,
all the guys are back, that is when the competition will kick in. And they have to make sure that they don't lose any focus. They have to fight hard. Maresca sometimes have proven that he's a master tactician. A lot of people come to attack him sometimes. I'm one of them. Sometimes I don't like the way he set my boy on the bench. But I always tell people that he is more closer to the boys. So any decision he makes, I don't think he's trying to undermine his own, work ethics. Maybe he knows why he always let the boys start from the bench. I'm talking about Estevao. But at the end of the day, he's still winning games for us. Even when it's so bad, we are able to grab the 3 points. So we all have to come together. We need to support the boys. And I'm telling you, so far, Coachila, I don't have anything to complain. But probably in the winter transfer window, if there are some areas they can improve it, I'm all for it. But so far, so good. I think we stand a chance of, winning the league at the end of this, season.
Ty did say that too, but let's see what happens. I can quite say that. Um, Look, we've improved quite a lot. We've also matured. We've also, more importantly, something that was of great concern to me, we've learned to manage games. And
Yep.
mentally, we've improved significantly. It doesn't matter whether we concede first or not. But yeah, I understand your point, but let's see what happens. Never say never. And if it happens, I'll take it. And IB says, hate to say it, but the game might be tougher than expected. Sunderland are big enough physically, and we have one more than half. Okay, we have one more than 4 games in a row with Maresca. We haven't. You mean we haven't? Or we have? I'm not sure. But yes, and one thing I agree with you is that it's going to be a tough game. It's not going to be easy until it proves to be easy. That's again if uh, it's a huge risk to go into that game with the mindset that yeah, it's Sunderland. We have a much better squad. We're definitely beating them. You can argue we had that issue under Porter and also to some measure under Pochettino. That mindset of, or you could say, not taking teams seriously because of their poor performances, or maybe because we feel like we're a much better side. Okay, I suspected that was what you want to say there. And Japanese I have to say is that it looks like Josh is that perfect player we are looking for. Here's the thing. Uh, Josh isn't Levi Colwell, and Levi Colwell isn't Josh. Josh operates differently.
Yep.
Josh can actually play as a CDM. I don't think Levi
Yeah.
Colwell can.
If Mourinho was here, he would have done that. I always
Yeah,
tell people.
here's the thing. Josh exploits spaces differently. Levi
Mhm.
Colwell exploits spaces differently. Levi Colwell, if he sees space, he's looking for his teammate to make a run. 99.9% of the times.
Yeah.
In the case of Josh, if he sees space, he exploits the space. He
Yep.
drives with the ball into that space and
Hmm.
which means gets you close. It must again. Two of the you can say approaches have their advantages, and I think
Yeah.
Maresca likes Josh. Mind you, for the academy, I heard he's a right back.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's traditionally a right back, but he's so you can say he's loaded with skills that you'd be wasting his talent if you deploy him as a right back. And I
Yep.
think he makes sense. I wouldn't mind playing him as a DM,
Yeah.
but here's what I like the most about him is his footballing intelligence, and that's one thing. The first thing I look for in players. The
I,
footballing
Coachila, let
intelligence.
me say this.
Yeah.
I think the coach should make him a utility player like the way ACN used to be, so that whenever there is lack of maybe the numbers, you can just assign him to certain areas. Because as you are saying, if there is any transition, this guy help with the attack. When they have to transit to the defense, he's also there. And look at his mentality, at his age, the way he's approaching games, the way he's. I like defenders who are very rough, especially when you play in the English Premier League. You have to be very rough. Other than that, you cannot survive. And this guy has shown that. So for that, I think every coach or any very technical coach can make him a utility player where you can let him exploit other areas. Because if you look at him, when he's on the ball, sometimes he looks like a midfielder. When it's time for him to defend, he can also defend very well. This is a guy who took out Mateta from our game against Crystal Palace. But prior to that, Mateta was bullying him. That resulted in a goal. But this time around, he
No,
was a total
honestly, he
different
was
player.
brilliant against Mateta.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was brilliant against him, in my opinion. But go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. He was very, very good. So I think it makes sense if Maresca can just make him a utility player for our team, so that even if Kowa is there, he shouldn't always be on the bench. Sometimes if you feel like you want him to be in the middle with the likes of Casiedo and Enzo Fernandez and all those guys, you can just put him there. Just give a try, especially with some of the games that you think it's not very very effective. Most of these games you can let him play in the midfield. So to me, I think Cole's injury has really really been a blessing to Joshua Champon, and I can tell you that he's one of the improved player, and this tells us that Maresca should go back to the academy. There are so many young players
I
out
think he
there.
likes them. He likes them.
Yeah,
He's given a few of them opportunities,
the
like
opportunity. Yeah,
Yuka. There are all.
yeah,
There's also yeah, yeah,
that guy is
exactly.
on fire right now. And I think very soon he will probably be getting more opportunity to play for the senior team. He's really, really on fire right now. So just imagine by next season he's all right and he joins the first team finally. I think it will be very, very effective. This is what they have to be doing. And I think with the inclusion of the Liverpool's scouting director or whatever his name is, they can also go out there, try to get more players for our team. But this season, honestly, Coachila, I think we have improved so much, and Maresca is doing something. We all have to support him. We
Yeah,
can't
have
say
you seen that report that Josh Archibald was the reason why we didn't seriously push to sign a centre back,
center
and
back.
that's
Okay, yeah.
believable
But
and it makes sense. Yeah, go ahead.
before they, I think they were saying that Madrid came and Bayern Munich came, and that would have been suicidal if we allowed that
But we
guy.
did. We refused to sell him. We didn't want to
Yeah,
sell him. We never wanted to sell him.
and like a team like Real Madrid, you always have to be careful. If they are on your player, they will make sure they get him. So if a champion's contract is not that huge, they need to give him a very long term contract so that we can scare them away from. I don't know his price tag right now, but these guys are so silly that they can come up with a very huge amount of money and take our our property away. Like this guy is something we need to really, preserve for the future. He is a future of our football team. So we don't have to allow some of these teams to play games with us because at the end of the day, if we are not able to protect him very well and these teams come with a lot of money, we might accept it and he will go. So I believe
Here's the thing. One thing we did. I think the reason he agreed to put pen to paper for a new contract was that we did guarantee him playing time.
yeah,
And probably before that time, he's had a conversation with the manager, and he promised him, "Look, I like you, but the process will be gradual, and
yeah,
it's working." And the signs were there actually.
yeah.
I Maresca, he's giving him opportunities in high-profile games.
I think even Maresca came under some few criticism when he was taking him to the Club World Cup. I remember very well. I think they were complaining. A lot of people were complaining because most of the senior players didn't go, and Josh got the opportunity to go, and some people were not, happy about that. But at the end of the day, look at what he's doing. He's really showing that he can play. I think the Club World Cup he was playing for us against I think El Ali or one of those teams, and he did great. And this season, he's really improving. Who would have thought Josh would be playing if this guy wasn't going to have the injury? So I think that injury was something that redefined his career at Chelsea, and he has really make use of the opportunity that he got. So tomorrow's game, let's hope what happens, and I still believe we can grab the 3 points. It's not going to be an easy game though,
No, it will
but I
not be
believe we
easy.
can
Yeah.
grab the 3 points, and yeah, we can grab the 3 points, Coachila.
I think we can. And I'm happy. I'm going to say this again. I told people, calm down, that Josh Maresca likes Josh. And
Yeah,
because I paid attention to the games that he selected him to start over the more experienced players who in those games were on the bench, actually.
yeah.
So he likes the kid, and it's good to see. Let's
There is
see.
another thing I would like to say. I've heard a lot of people saying that this guy is no more scoring, and it seems he's just fading out. João Pedro, people should just relax. João Pedro brings a lot into the game, and you have to be more technical to understand him on the field of play. Like when that guy is having the ball, he's very good on the ball. He normally make use of the numbers for others to score goals. So for him not scoring, it doesn't. Don't worry, we shouldn't worry. Even if he's playing the number 10 role, we don't have to expect so much from him because at the end of the day, he has a role making sure that he overwork our opponent defense for others to score. So even if he's not scoring, he's still part of the winning team. People should just relax a little bit. I think he's going to rediscover his scoring form when Palmer is back because I always tell people that football is funny. There are certain players who can activate the best of other players, and maybe Palmer's absence is having a toll on him. So we should just relax a little bit. Maybe when all those guys are back and he's getting the necessary balls, I think he might get back to his scoring, form. And people should just relax. And one other thing is about the red card at the intervals or the space we have been getting the red cards is just uncalled for. It's too much. We need to be very careful the way we have been conceding the red cards, and if we don't take care, it can affect us most in the Champions League and other areas. Because if every match we have to concede red card, that means the team is not disciplined a lot. That is one big sign. So they have to be very careful the way they concede some of these, cards, so that at the end of the day, it's not going to affect us trying to win the league, because this year it's a must win. We need to win the league for the first time in about 10 years
You
or
seem
so.
you seem pretty confident that we're gonna win it, but
I'm telling you, Coachila,
I'm
we've
not
had a
gonna
very
say no.
great run.
I love my club, and I believe
Listen,
we can win it.
I
Yeah, go
don't know,
ahead.
for some reason, if Liverpool is not doing well, Man City is also not doing well. This is the time for us to compete. You understand? Because I
Hmm.
still don't get why Liverpool is retrogressing. I don't know if this guy has found out
No,
what's
too
going
many
on.
changes. Too many
Yeah, because
changes.
you have Isak, you have Salah, you have Gakpo. What else
Hmm.
can a team require to win games, and you are still playing that bad? That seems there is something going on. I don't know if it's coming from the bench or it's coming from the players. So this is the
It's
time,
too many. Eventually, they will click, but the
and
changes
let's
are
hope
just
so.
too much. Yeah.
Let's hope so, because
No, I don't hope so.
because people thought Isak should have improved their squad, but the moment he started playing, things are getting so bad that they are not able to win games. If you allow Manchester United, who everybody beat you at Anfield, then your team has a lot of problem. And I don't know what is going to happen, but Coachila, I have to be honest with you. We still stand a very great chance of winning the league. If we win the league, I'm okay. You understand? We have to win the league because it's been a long time since we won that league, and this is the best time for us to try and win it for I don't know how many times, fourth time or fifth time or whatever it is. You know.
We'll see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what Angel Panessa Ata says here. At the moment, Josh is ahead of Tosin. But experience is everything. Both can actually
Yes.
play together. Um, just as you can say, better acceleration than Tosin. Tosin is more experienced, but once again, I'm gonna go back to saying experience is everything. But you could argue that Josh is more complete than Tosin. But I'm glad we have both. Um, Tosin, I don't think he's able to. I don't know. I've seen him drive with the ball, but Tosin is a much better box defender than Josh. So you could argue. Yeah, let me just leave it at. I'm glad we have both.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
glad we have both. Yeah.
it's good to have a lot of players on your side based on the kind of competitions you'll be playing. Because if you don't have it options, that doesn't make you a great squad or a great team. So if you have a team and one position has about four or five reliable players, I think it's a good thing. So like people were talking about getting a central, defender in the
Hmm.
upcoming season. But after the Liverpool games, it seems a lot of people were content with the performance of Badia Shield and Joshua Champon. So I don't know if they will still go and get somebody. But as it stands right now, I hardly think they are going to get somebody. I will be happy if they can bring an extra, attacker. They can look around and see if there is any attacker out there where we can bring. But as it
No,
stands right now,
what's his name? Amara is coming next summer, and he's a fine footballer. More
who?
like Emera from Strasbourg as his
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
You're right.
He's a good
Yes, he's
footballer. I
coming.
think he was slot right in. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
Maresca's type of number nine.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
maybe who knows, he might join in January. I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
if he
I mean,
can,
you never know because the fans,
yeah,
the Strasbourg fans, they turned against him once they realized he was
yeah,
joining Chelsea. If the relationship doesn't improve,
yeah,
we might well be forced to just say, okay, you know what, just come on.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and they have what's the other guy that Vince was singing praises the entire day. He's also a fine finisher. They're doing well. I think Emera is actually out injured right now, and the guy in question has been doing well for them in the absence of Emera. But go ahead.
yeah, so I believe if we are able to have him next season, it will really help. But also let's look at so far what is really happening on the league table. Man City initially were not doing so good. The reason why I always tell people that we could win. Man City, if you look at them right now, they are going through transition, meaning they got rid of so many players over the course of last season, and they've brought in some new players who are not really familiar with the Premier League, because I think most of the players that they brought in were from France and some other areas, and it seems it's having a very big impact on the team, and they are not really doing good. And even some of the teams are really doing so good, and I'm so surprised. The like of Bournemouth and other Crystal Palace and all those teams, they are really doing good. That is going to make it more difficult for most of the well-known teams, the traditional teams, to like win the league. Because just as you think you are doing so good, you are on your way to win the league. Some of these teams come and they spoil everything for you, and this is what some of them are doing. And the team that has really disappointed me is West Ham. I don't know what is going on, but it looks like if they don't do well by the end of this year, they might end up in relegation, because it seems they are losing a lot of games, which is making it more difficult for them to survive in the Premier League. And Nottingham Forest, they also made a very big mistake. The mistake they made was to sack their coach, who was sustaining everything for them. That was the
That
biggest
that was a
mistake.
serious. That was
Yeah,
and
because
going from Nuno to
yeah,
Angie.
that
Jeez, who
was
does that?
that was
That's such a drastic shift in approach.
yes,
We,
and
if you understand football, you know immediately that that's not gonna work.
exactly.
Like I was like, what is this? Who does such a thing?
The-
From Angie, who plays a very high line, hardly ever defensive, a very
mhm.
attacking minded manager, a defensive manager, to Angie, who doesn't know how to train defenders. If you're in my opinion, the
That
shift,
was the biggest
I could
mistake.
not believe it. I knew it was again doomed from the beginning. But onset, go ahead.
At least if you have your differences with the coach for not listening to you or whatever as a director or the owner, you have to give him time, or you have to give yourself time. Let him go through with this, because what is so dangerous about the Premier League is if you sack a coach in the middle of maybe the season going on, you might end up losing a lot. You will lose so many things. That is the same thing that happened to Manchester United when this guy chose to come in as early as January. To me, it was a very bad mistake for Manchester coach Amorim to come in into a team where they were struggling. He could have waited till the end of the league season, then come in, buy his own players, get rid of the players he didn't want. But he chose to come in January, and that affected him a lot. Him beating Liverpool, I'm still not convinced whether he is getting it right. But people are saying that maybe now he's getting things right. It seems they are more solid, they are more fluid, and they are performing so good. And I said, well, Liverpool is also having a bad time, so we cannot base that on the game against Liverpool. So a whole lot of things are going on, and I think the only team who is having like sustainability to me is Chelsea. So far, there is nothing I would say we are struggling. We just lost against Manchester United. And the circumstances at which we lost that game, no team can, would have won that game. It was a very bad day for Chelsea. And that was the only regret. And we also tied some games in the initial stages against Crystal Palace, who is also on fire. And Brentford also spoiled everything for us. But those teams are boogie teams for Chelsea. Every time we meet those teams, we seems to struggle a lot. So I wasn't, paying any mind to that. But as it stands right now, we have to work so hard. We need to come on board. Everybody should just support this guy. And it seems Chelsea supporters, a lot of them are really beginning to like Maresca. I like it that way. Before, a lot of people were saying so many bad things about him, but that is normal Chelsea supporters. When things are going so good, everybody will forget about the whole thing. When things are going bad, then you see the criticism coming. So let's see what happens. But I have this hope that we stand a very great chance of lifting the EPL this season.
All right, I'm gonna catch up with what we have in the channel. Come back to the panel. We'll build the lineup and then call it a day because we have a pre-game show. That's in a few hours already. And Kwame here, my West African bro, Kwame Skillo. I like that name. Kwame says Tosin is not showing leadership. That hurts me a lot. The kind of mistakes he commits at the back is simply unbearable. Okay, here's the thing. You're entitled to your opinion, Kwame. I'm entitled to mine. Here's what I'm going to say right now. I think you saying is not showing leadership is you that's driven by your perception of his performances, right? I think he's a leader. He's whether he's been performing well for me is a different argument altogether. And here's the thing. I haven't had a lot of, you can say, seen a lot of situations where I look back and say, yeah, person has made a lot of mistakes that he needs to be out of the squad. I'm not saying you said that. But listen, um, he's not the quickest. He's also not the slowest. He's deceptively quick, but the only issue is acceleration. And there are two games that, if you ask me, I'd swear probably part of what drives your opinion of him not being a leader is those two occasions, two consecutive games where he was found needing to catch up with the attacking player and didn't do really well on those two occasions. We were lucky one of the goals were ruled out, one of them stood. And that's down to the manager's approach. Those two occasions. One was against Fulham. I can't remember the other game. Was it Fulham? And the other game I can't quite remember. Down to the approach. The manager should have known that Tosin isn't the quickest and not fuel them against opposition or an opposition. You can say against a team that has pacey players, such as the two players that you can say dragged Tosin on the pitch, and he barely caught up with them. He was barely able to catch up with them on that day. Tosin is an intelligent player, has good enough passing range, reads the game very well. He's a very good box defender. But you don't want to find them in a situation where he's isolated. Otherwise, that's it. You're conceding or he commits a silly foul. I don't think he's made so many mistakes to a measure where I'd say, because of the mistakes he's made, say, yeah, he's not been leading. That's according to you. So, but you're entitled to your opinion. I'm not entitled to mine. I think he's a good player. There were clubs interested. You say they tested the waters, trying to find out if we're looking to sell him, but we're not, because he's a leader on and off the pitch. And Copilot will be the first to tell you that. Again, he made that mistake that led to us conceding a penalty against Ajax. You can say that's down to the fact that before hadn't played in a while and was match rusty. But then again, that's my opinion. Chances are he's turned to a bad player since he got injured, but we'll find out. But give him a chance, my bro. All right. Kwame also said that I honestly fear for Tosin staying up more than this season. His mistakes come so easily at the time we need the strength. I think it's fine, but then again, you have reasons for your argument that you have reasons that drive your concerns. But that's you. I don't think so. I think he's the least of our problems right now. And IP says, what's funny is that this is only phase one. There's only one phase of the Blue Coal project. Phase one, is that saying? What's funny is that this is only phase one of the Blue Coal project, and we are stacking. Okay, and we are stacking talent left, right. Plus, we have my guy Quenda coming next season. Jesus, Quenda, a fine player, and I'm happy we signed him. I think he's one player that once he joins us, I don't think a lot of fans will believe how good he is. He has again, he's such a fine dribbler, easy on the eye, so sweet to watch. Kwame says, I like him, but he's not good on a one-on-one, and considering our style of play, he needs to find a way to adapt. Now, that's up to the manager. There are games where I'd say make sure he's on the pitch, but I think we've matured enough that I'm not too concerned us facing persistent pressure from the opposing teams, because last season, at some point we had issues where the moment we face persistent pressure from the opposition, we start making silly mistakes. But whenever Tosin is on the pitch, that hardly ever happens. Irrespective of the measure of pressure we face from the opposition, he still stays calm, collected, and still commands the back line effectively. But I'll tell you, he's not the quickest, he's not the slowest either. One problem is his acceleration. But that's, by the way, I understand. You know Tosin very well. That's probably why you've taken your time to look at, you can say, the mistakes you've reference has led to you deciding that he's not leading. But I wouldn't, because of his performances, conclude that he's not leading. No. Go Palmer will tell you otherwise. But that's by the way, let's start with the lineup of building exercise. And I learned something the other day that if you have a reason to speak up, speak up. When we were building the predicted lineup, I and Dante, it came to mind to tell him. I wanted to tell him, look, I think Jorgensen was going to start that game, but I did, and he did start. And that cannot. It wouldn't make sense to start arguing. Yeah, I knew he was going to start. I thought he was going to. It's absolute nonsense. I did say it, and yeah, missed that opportunity to correctly predict who starts between the stick. But I think Sanchez will take back his place. He'll be starting between the sticks for us. Yeah, Sanchez there. There you go. We have that. Cucurella comes back. He was arrested for Yorel Hato. Yeah, Cucurella right back. Reece James, same thing, was arrested for the last game. Ajax had kids, and we faced them with kids too. And our kids did better. The difference is that the red card, you could argue to some measure, ruined it. The argument will always be, yeah, they were a man down. So yeah, the central area. This is where I've seen, you say, different parents from different people predicting the lineup. But I think we're gonna see Josh Archibald start. I think it'd be Josh Archibald here. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Josh there. I think it's gonna be Josh Archibald here. It's gonna be Chalova here. Yeah, Chalova. All right, CH. Okay, Chalova. I think it's going to be Chalova there. And I get it. The application almost always are three at the back, and that would be this. The three at the back would be this, in my opinion. Maybe. Josh, yeah, I get it. Lack of experience. Some people will question his ability to start centrally. And if you remember, actually, in most games, actually, even when you think we're playing with the three at the back, we see two at the back. And then Josh, from a central position, can step in to the middle area here and help us line up in three-man here in the midfield area. So this thing isn't seamless, it's a dragon, it makes it difficult. So I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see this four. We call this the starting structure, irrespective of the application. Josh will start with a Chalova, Cucurella, James, then Caicedo. I think Caicedo is not going to play this game. He's not going to start, not play. He will be on the bench in case we need him. So I think it's going to be Lavia. How many minutes did he play in the last game? Wow, where's my YouTube short lineup? Who did I use? That'll give me an idea. Give me 1 second here. Let me see the players I selected there. Give me 1 second here. I'm sorry. My daughter, she was at the door and making me. So let me find that lineup here. Who did I select? I've done the work. Let me waste the time. Let me see. And it's probably that one there. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, probably. I think Lavia has played how many games in a row? So I think we're still going to see Caicedo here. So I think we're still going to see Caicedo here. Um, Enzo Fernandez. Enzo. I think João Pedro will start in the 10th position. That's my opinion. I'll come back to Bonfordinho to look at it and see if he disagrees anywhere. Mark V. And I think Pedro Neto starts on the right hand side. I don't think Estevao starts. He may well participate, and that depends on how things pan out. Again, at certain point in the game, if things aren't going away, the manager will start him. Chances are he'd be introduced early in the game. It depends on how well things are going. If things are going really, really well, then we'll see him probably very late in the game because the manager will want him to get minutes and not be match rusty. Even again, to keep his momentum going. I think Garnacho starts this game. He didn't play at all in the last game. Do I even have him in the database? I don't have him, so I'm gonna add him later. So let me catch up here, then come back to the panel, and we'll hear from Bonfordinho and hear what he thinks about the lineup here. Thank you for that. IB says, I think this is Garnacho. Yeah, I think he starts. It makes sense. He did play in the last game. No Caicedo, definitely. A huge risk. I think Andreas Santos also starts this game. So maybe the mix could be, we could see something like this. This is a more physical game, more likely than the Wolves game. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I think we'll see Santos here with Enzo on the bench. If things don't go our way, then he'll come back. But I don't think Caicedo leaves this pitch. That's my opinion, but let's see what happens. And here, Ivy says that I can actually see a Caicedo and Lavia pivot given the physicality of Sunderland. But Andrea Santos is more physical than Lavia, in my opinion. But we'll see. I think the manager would want to attack them. Not too many defensive players on the pitch. That's my opinion anyway. And big up to you, Jay Tapia, 93. Nice to see you. Is this the hot Jay? I changed his name to Tapia, 93, but I don't know. But let's say, Bonfordinho, your thoughts. This is my lineup. Do you want to do yours? I can open another window and do yours.
Yeah. I
Okay,
think
open another
yours.
window. So let's select your lineup.
My lineup will be
Just
similar.
1 second. For each person you select, you explain. Give me 1 second. Let me open the page.
Okay.
Lineup.
Okay. I will go for
1 second, it's
Sanchez.
still not open. Maybe I need to copy this guy here. Let me just copy the URL and use it. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Local URL. It's custom application for Chelsea perspective. So let's see. Paste and go. So let's go. Let me make it square. Let's go. Let's hear your lineup.
Okay. For me, I think I would like to go with
I mean, are you getting your, remember we're trying to correctly predict Enzo Maresca's selection for the game. So it's
yeah.
not your preferred lineup. So we want to see,
Me
tomorrow we compare the lineup you select with mine and see who got it correctly.
I will go for traditional 4-4-2.
You
Four four
think he
two.
plays with 4-4-2?
Yeah, 4-4-2 formation. And how I'm going to do it, I will prefer Sanchez in post.
Okay, let me just do what you want.
Sanchez in post.
Yeah, give me a second. Give
I
me 1
will
second. Let's just stick with,
sure
again. Let's just stick with the 4-2-3-1, the structure we know, because this is gonna give you a problem trying to move the
four two
players
three one.
around. I'm still working on it.
No problem.
Yeah. So
So four
Sanchez,
two three
right?
one. How I will do it? I will put Sanchez. Yeah,
Okay.
our regular back four. I'll go for Kukureya on the left. I
Okay.
will go for James on the right. I will play.
I agree with
I will
those.
play. Something makes me that I should start Tosin and
I don't think
Chaluba.
Tosin plays. He probably will play the game after. He will come on. That's my opinion, but this is your prediction. Let's go with you. You think it's going to be
Yeah,
Tosin?
like I, I think probably I can play Tosin for now, so that Josh will relax for the subsequent games.
Okay, Tosin
And
and who?
Tosin and Chaloba, they bring a
So
lot of
probably Chalaba most
physicality.
likely, definitely on the right hand side.
Yeah, they bring a lot of
Probably,
physicality into
I'm
the
not
game.
sure. Let's just the application might could be different, but let's see. Give me 1 second here.
Okay,
So
and
him and Tosin, right?
yes,
Okay.
and I would like to have Lavia, Lavia and Casedo.
You think Lavia and Caicedo starts? Okay.
Yeah. Then Enzo Fernandez will play on top of them.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Hmm.
I just quickly, Chimera, can you send me a message on X? There's something I want to share with you. So you think Enzo is yeah, one of the two
Yeah, Enzo will
tens.
play ahead
Give me
of
an
the.
approach. Yeah, go ahead. Uh-huh.
Then the wings. I would like to start with Neto. Always will start, so I'll put Neto, Pedro Neto, on the right hand side.
Okay.
Then I would like to do something crazy. I will put Gettins in this game
I
instead
don't
of
think it
maybe
starts this game. We are rotating. That's the point.
Gettins
But
start ahead of
it's your
Garnacho.
lineup. It's your lineup.
Yeah, Gettins will start ahead of Garnacho.
Okay, we'll see. Go ahead.
Then I will play our guy Jao Pedro will play on top.
Okay.
Then Estevao will come as a super sub in the 50th minute.
Okay. Let me see. You say it will be who? Ja Pedro.
I said my
No, you
selection is
said
done.
Pedro for 9 before you talked about Estevao, right?
Yeah, Estevao will come in as a super sub after 50th minute. I will drop him in. Probably we will switch Neto to the left. Then he will come and take the right wing.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, no,
I
but
wanted
here's the
to
thing.
do my
Let me
4-4-2.
explain. Let me explain where I disagree. Chances are you end up
Yeah,
having
go
the
ahead.
correct lineup. I don't think Tosin starts. I think Josh Archibald starts tomorrow. I
Yep.
don't think Gittin starts. I think Garnacho starts in that position tomorrow. We agree. Every
Yeah,
other position we agree. But I think Margui starts.
ahead of João
I think
Pedro.
Margui starts tomorrow.
Yeah, no, he will come from the bench. He and Estevao, they are going to come
Okay.
from the bench most likely. Yeah, there is no way because our last game, João Pedro didn't play. I'm talking about the Champions League due to the red card. So I don't think they will let him sit from the bench then come in. No, he's going to start ahead of Gui. Then maybe probably at the 15 minutes to the end of the game or something like that, McGui can come in. But I don't see how he's going to start ahead of João Pedro. I don't think so.
No,
But I
here's my
strongly
okay.
I,
Let me show you my lineup again. Let me show you my own.
okay,
You have yours, I have mine. We'll find out. I'm playing
okay,
Jean Pedro as a 10.
okay.
I and I think that's what Maresca is going to do. And he said something to the effect of Gui ready to start. So
Mm,
if Gui starts, I think Jean Pedro playing as one of the two tens because yeah, we usually play with two tens. I think it'd be more productive because the reason we play them as a 9 was down to the absence of Liam Delap and Gui not being ready at the time, and he looked wasted in those games, in my opinion. But go ahead, what you were saying.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, obviously he has also proven to be very good when it comes to scoring goals, and him playing at the number 9 position is most likely. And I don't see how McGui is going to start ahead of João Pedro. I believe João Pedro will start, but at a point in the game, they will definitely make that changes for him to also come in. He and Estevao. But who knows? Maresca sometimes is unpredictable, as sometimes you always say. He will probably come up with a selection where Estevao is going to start ahead of some of the players we've already mentioned. And if that happens, I will also take it. Probably he can play his normal position, like Estevao on the right, Neto on the left, and João Pedro as the top player, and Enzo Fernandez playing behind João Pedro, and these guys, Lavia and Casedo will be holding the middle, because if you have Shaka in the middle, that guy is a rough player, and you need an opposition from some strong players. So I'm not going to surprise if I see Lavia and Casedo holding the midfield for us, but who knows? Santos could also start ahead of Lavia. That is also another possibility. But I think the top four, as you said, Josh Achampong stand a chance of starting ahead of Adebayo. But I feel like if you want more physical, players at the back, obviously you would like to put Tosin inside that game just to scare Brian Brobe, because that guy is really strong. I don't know if Brian Brobe normally start for Sunderland. To be honest with you, I've not watched their full game, and I don't know if he's a starter at Sunderland. But if he is, he's a very strong player, and you need a very stiff opposition for that guy. So I wouldn't be surprised if
We'll see what
Tosin.
happens. We'll see what happens. Chances are he ends up being very correct that he can actually see a Caicedo and Lavia pivot, given the physicality of Sunderland. I'm still going to say it. Santos is more physical than Caicedo,
Mm,
than Lavia, and he can
yeah,
actually, he's even bigger actually, and he can actually play as one of the two. You can, if we want to play, can deploy them as traditional sixes, he can actually fulfill that role effectively. But we'll see. Maresca has proven to be predictably unpredictable, but we'll learn tomorrow. Big up to you too. I say hello to you, Chimera. I've let that comment of yours, no Tosin. It's Shalom, Golden Boy, Estevão Willian. So I don't think he starts. It makes sense. Not because he's not good enough to start. He's proven he's good enough. He's proven, again, he's adapting quickly to the Premier League than anybody can imagine. Imagine actually, but it's important that the manager still sticks with the plan of integrating him gradually and not let the fans' opinion drive his usage of the of the kid. A huge risk if you put too much pressure on him. I don't want that to happen. The games are coming in thick and fast. He's not going to start, but he'll be on the bench in case we need him. If we don't need him, then yeah, he starts the next one. Rotation is key at this moment.
yeah.
What?
One thing. When I was speaking with one coach from Ghana, and we're talking about Estevao situation, and he said he really liked the way Maresca is managing the guy, because he said for the supporters, you might think that it's cool for the boy to start all games coming into the Premier League, but what happens is you put a lot of pressure and you put a lot of expectation on him, and you don't want him to play one game that will destroy all his dream for playing for Chelsea. So for him to come in, or for the coach to introduce him game after game, it makes sense a lot. That will rather help him to develop very well and be familiar with the Premier League. So I guess some of your assertions sometimes about the situation is really true, because you don't want a young boy. He's not even up to 20 or so, come and flop in one game, and that will be the end for him. So the way Maresca is introducing him, and whenever he comes in, he provides whatever he has to provide. He's really doing good at that. So I think I'm all in for that. If he thinks Estevao coming in after second half will help the team to win matches, I'm all for it because it seems it's working out, and he should continue to do that. But if there are some games he feel like he wants him to start and is going to help the team, I also don't have any problem. But looking at the numbers and everything, I think whatever you have put on the screen is most likely going to happen tomorrow. But let's see
We don't
where.
know. I just that's just my opinion. Yours driven by opinion, mine driven by opinion. You don't know,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
We don't
So
until the game starts.
yeah, but
Estevão, yeah, go ahead.
yours look more possible if you are doing the probabilities. I think yours is more possible, you know. But I don't know Ganacho situation
You could actually see Tariq George as number 9 and not Gay.
to start.
Yeah.
Oh no, I
Remember,
don't
he's
think.
used them as a 9. It depends
I
on
don't.
how he wants to approach the game. That's what I'm saying.
I
You
don't
don't
think he will
know.
start Tariq George. Tariq George, any game Tariq George will play will be maybe some FA Cup match with some lower division or something. But some of these games, he wouldn't risk to start Tariq George. I don't see him starting. Probably he can come in later, but for him to start, no, he has no chance. I don't think Maresca will start Tariq George. I don't think so.
We will find out what happens. So, Marshall, or would you like Kutsikas? We're not benching. You don't. We're trying to predict Enzo Maresca starting 11 against Sunderland, Aston Villa tomorrow. We're not saying he's a bad player. I think he's most likely to be rested for the next game, but he'd be on the bench in case he's needed. There's no question whether he's a good player, an excellent player, or a player that's capable of pulling a rabbit out of the hat and help us win a game. We already know that. We have established that. But we don't want to overplay him because, he's that good. The games are coming in thick and fast. Rotation will be key. If need be, he'll be on the bench, even if he doesn't start. Chances are he starts. You never know. This is just this lineup you're looking at here is driven by my opinion. So chances are the manager feels like, he just has to play him. And then play Tariq George in the next one. You never know. So we're just here to have fun. So, but let's see. And Pedro Granja might be scores. I hope he scores, Pedro. Nice to see you once again. It's been a minute. Hopefully, your absence simply means that you've been busy. If that's the case, we're happy for you because bills don't pay themselves. And Kwame Skiloo. Kwame says Sanchez again in post. That's his lineup. Right back, Reece James, Kukurea left back, Achampong and Chalaba. That's the line, what I think we'll see, but we're just trying to predict. You never know. At a central defense, Lavia and Caicedo. I don't think Caicedo played. Karangi replaced, Lavia plays tomorrow, starts again tomorrow. He's played like how many games in a row? But don't worry, we'll find out in a few hours. Caicedo and Lavia pivot, again as a two pivot, Estevao right wing, Nato left wing, JP 10, and Guy 9. Is this your preferred lineup, or are you saying that's the 11 we're going to see? Kwame, let me know. Okay. Here we have Pedro Cantis. A big up to you, to my bro. Good to be back. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. So I don't. And unfortunately for me, we don't have Better here on the panel because I haven't watched Sunderland. That's how to pay attention to their game for a few seconds and watch other games. I haven't really paid attention to them to know how they play. But according to numbers, definitely Chelsea win. According to numbers, team form, goals per minute, goal concession goals per 90 minutes, goals scored per 90 minutes, goals conceded per 90 minutes. Definitely a Chelsea win, but the truth remains football doesn't work like that. So let's see if anything new emerged as the show progressed. So we can go. We're going news hunting now. I don't know if you have any questions and you're in the chat. Let us know.
Hey,
We'll
Coachila,
try. We'll try
one
to
thing.
address it. Go
If you
ahead.
look at Sunderland, I'm just watching their statistics so far, and we
Mm.
have things in common. Just that they drew with Crystal Palace, they beat Brentford, they drew with Aston Villa, they beat Nottingham Forest, they lost to Manchester United, and they beat Wolves. So I think they look more impressive. Like they look very, very impressive to me, especially drawing with Crystal Palace is something huge, and we have to be very careful tomorrow. It's going to be one of those games for us. It's going to be very difficult, but I think we still have the players and the guys to finish the job for us. But they look very scary, though. To be honest with you, their
Yeah,
performance this season.
I mean,
Yeah,
they didn't make they weren't just added to the Premier League. They played how many games, and yeah,
yeah. It looks
it
like
got promoted to the Premier League.
yeah, like these teams who got promoted are really doing good. Leeds, Burnley, and also Sunderland. And I feel like for the first time we might have teams who were already in the Premier League to be relegated. I'm talking about Wolves, I'm talking about West Ham, and I'm talking about Nottingham Forest. These three teams, they have to work extra hard if they want to remain in the Premier League because their performance so far doesn't look good at all, and they really have to work so hard to regain their position in the EPL. Other than that, I believe one of them might join the rest to the championship. It looks possible. You understand? It looks very, very possible.
Yeah, it does. Anything can happen. It's football. Kwame Skiver says, like you rightly said, Maresca is unpredictable. Yeah, it's predictably unpredictable. I agree with you. So I am Maresca's. That's Maresca's starting 11. Okay, that's your. You feel like that he's going to start that 11. Worst case, Enzo replaces Lavia. I think Enzo starts this game. Likely, rotation is key. The games are coming in thick and fast. That's again, and he's proven that he doesn't. You can say he doesn't fear rotating his team, even though if you follow football long enough, it's set if you're mid season and up. Making again up to 5 changes in a team can lead to a disjointed display and maybe could lead it to a team losing a game. Um, but yeah, I was gonna look at the table. Let's look at it. Yeah. Let's see. What was it? What was it that we were gonna go do in the table here? Oh my gosh, what's going? Replaces live. Yeah. Okay. Our schedule. So let's look at it and see the games for me coming thick and fast. Rotation is key. Fixtures. All right, let's see. So we have on the tomorrow we have Sunderland, and then tomorrow is 25th, and then for this time on the 29th we have Wolves, and on the 1st of November. What? How possible is that? On the 29th we have Wolves EFL Cup, October 29th. On the 1st we have a Premier League game. We have a Premier League game against against Tottenham. Then on November 5th, 4 days time, Champions League game against Karabakh FK. And then in 3 days time, we have a Premier League game against Wolves. So the games are coming in thick and fast. Rotation will be key to ensuring we have players always ready to play and get results. We have Tony in the house, so Tony, big up to you. I appreciate you finding time to join the conversation. We're about to round up, so probably going to get your opinion and then call it a day. How are you doing, Tony? Probably. Are you finding difficulty on mute? I don't know if I can help. Yeah, disconnected. Bob, for anything else you want to talk about before we call it a day? I think Tony will understand it if he's not able to join before we call it a day.
Yeah, so far so good. I think as we've already said, the game tomorrow is going to be very difficult. Everything looks good, and there is also a news that the lab might come as earlier as
The Wolves
maybe
game?
the Wolves game. Most likely, he's not going to be that long. I guess he's almost returning, so that is also a good news. And I think this is a game we really need the 3 points. We really have to like get the 3 points, and by doing so it will be very good, because at the end of the day, if we're able to accumulate a lot of points, and you get into the new year season with a lot of points, you stand a chance of winning the Premier League. So I think they have to win most of the games this year, so that we'll enter 2026 with a lot of points, and from there Palmer and the rest of the guys will join, and we can achieve this, dream. Because it's been a long time. It's been very, very long time since we won. I think it's 10 years now, or 9 years since we won our last Premier League title. So this year is very crucial. I don't want to hear anybody saying, "Oh, we are not ready yet." The boys are ready. We are the world champions. We were able to beat PSG, which I think is one of the best teams right now in the world. They are still demolishing people. But when it comes to Chelsea, they were fumbling. That shows you that these guys are not young guys, as people have been saying. They look very young, but they have matured psychologically, and they are doing everything possible to make sure they bring a lot of laurels to this football club. So we need to be positive. We don't have to go to social media and be saying, "Oh, they are too young. We need to wait." I will respect everybody's opinion, but sometimes we also have to say some positive things, because most of these guys go to social media, they hear whatever we are saying, they read whatever we are writing. So if you motivate them, give them that belief that they can win the league, it's most possible. So we all have to be on one accord and make sure we support them so we win something. Until then, I think Coachila, everything looks good, and I mean, we're going to see something interesting tomorrow morning.
I hope so. I hope so. Tony, big up to you. It looks like Dante, you were using a Walmart internet connection and it disconnected you.
Coachila.
No, I wouldn't, I wouldn't stoop to Dante's level, but no,
I'm gonna tell him
no,
that.
no. I actually wasn't. It was worse than Dante. Like I wouldn't rise to Dante's level. I was on a supermarket Wi-Fi connection. That's little. That's kind of sub Walmart, I think. So, no,
Oh my! Welcome to the
the
panel,
truth
Brad.
is, I
I
couldn't.
do hope you're doing well.
I am, brother. I hope you're doing well.
I
I
can't
couldn't get my
complain.
mute. I couldn't get my mute button to unmute, and so I just backed out and came back in.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we're talking about our home game against Sunderland. I'm quite sure you've heard the news that the lab could be available for selection for our game against Wolves, but I think specificity is needed there because we have two games against Wolves. Uh, yeah. Is it in November? One a
Mm.
cup game, the other one a Premier League game. So probably the Premier League game one. Maybe he gets a few minutes in the cup game. I'm quite sure you've heard that. But are you looking forward to this game? Unfortunately, that is usually my go-to ask how our opposition plays. I don't know. Are you looking forward to this one? And we're gonna have you predict your own lineup. I'll bring up the screen. Your call. Let's see who gets it correct by the time we see the lineup tomorrow. But your thoughts?
Oh man, I wasn't ready for all that. I wasn't listening for a while, so I wasn't prepared, man. All right, you're gonna make me do this on the
No,
fly.
but you know we're playing
Ooh,
Sunderland.
okay.
Are you looking forward to it? Let's just stick with
Yes, of
that.
course. I mean, picking my predicted 11. I have to think about that for a minute. It's been a long day.
Oh, that
Um,
aspect.
yeah. No, that. Yeah. Well, let me come back to that. First, I'll
Mhm.
address. I think you were. I wanted to address the lab first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I haven't had a lot of time to do a lot of the research that I like to do and stats and all that today. But
Mhm.
so I haven't heard specifics on, and that's a good point. That you said which Wolves game. I haven't heard specifics on like I don't know, man. I don't understand how the lap is ready already. You know what I mean? Like first it was like, oh, he'll be back in 6 weeks, and then it was like, oh, we're looking at January, and then it was like probably the end of November, and now it's like, oh, I mean, next match day he could be, but he's already training, and so
I
I
think,
I just
like Khalid
it's just been
said,
kind of
the
all over
issue
the
is
place. I
that,
don't really
yeah,
know what is real. I don't really know what to believe about him.
people weren't, I think the issue, like Khalid said, people weren't factoring in the international break.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead, what you were saying.
Well, I just don't know. That kind of injury. I mean, it seems like he's back a little. I hope we're not rushing him back. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like one of those critical positions that we rush back. I hope we nurture him all right. But
Mhm.
yeah, as far as tomorrow, I don't know. I just I don't know. I have a good feeling. I think my score prediction would be. Hmm, I don't know. We're firing people are fit, but Sunderland's been in pretty good form, and we're at home. Oh, I'm gonna up it one from what I previous. I think I predict a 3-1 win for us.
I was, again, yeah, conceding, I mean, that's become traditional. So conceding goals
What
have
is it?
become conceding goals have become traditional. So yeah, I agree. We'll most likely concede. I'd be shocked if we don't. We don't keep too many clean
Yeah,
sheets. Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be a difficult game, but I'm quite
yeah.
sure he knows the Sunderland team very well, given his exploits maybe in the championship that he won. Um,
Hmm.
uh, that
Yeah,
gives me hope. But I would have loved to know more about them to be
but
able yeah, go ahead.
well, I'm just saying, part of me wants to take a goal back and make it 2-1 because I have to remember like they do like that low block. And nothing says Chelsea kryptonite like a low block.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe I don't know. I just keep going back and forth between 2-1, 3-1. It really just depends. I mean, if if uh if if GU can act like a battering ram and really disrupt them and give them something different to look at and
Hmm.
create space, I think it could be 3-1. But if we can't pick the lock, probably 2-1. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Losing is breaking up there.
sorry, I do think that I do predict a win though because we're at home and we've been doing we've been in good form lately.
I agree. I agree. So
I
you want to
think
give it? You want to give the lineup prediction a shot?
yeah,
Let's
I'm gonna
pick your
try.
11.
I'm gonna try. Okay, so you got to give me a sec. If
Okay.
I'm not, I don't have my notes ready to rifle off my. Okay, so if I have to think about something, like just give me like 5 seconds here and there. Yeah, I'm not prepared. It's just been coach, it's just been a long time since we talked. And
Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah.
I just missed the camaraderie. So I just came in completely disheveled and
All right,
unprepared.
give it a
So I
shot. Give it a
apologize.
shot. I will always
All right.
interject and question you where I think you're making the wrong
Yeah. I
decisions. Okay.
I think I think obviously Sanchez in goal. I
That's
don't
the
even
most
know if
difficult, right?
Jorgensen is. I don't even know if Jorgensen should be trusted in cup matches. But Sanchez and goal, of course. I would, I would say, I would have said Gusto at right back maybe, but we all know
He's
he's
suspended. I
suspended.
think he's
He's
suspended.
suspended. He's
Yeah.
suspended. Yeah, and so I think James, but I think James will tuck into the
I
midfield.
think definitely James.
I think James will tuck into the midfield to make the
Yeah,
midfield square. I think
correct.
Caicedo will be in there. I think our center backs will be. Yeah, well, looking at the lineup and who played and when they subbed on, I think that those gave us some good indicators as to who would play this weekend whenever we played Ajax.
Hmm.
So I think it's center back. We probably see Chalaba and a Champong. I think, even though Chalaba is used to playing on the right too, I think he'll slot in at the left, and we'll see a Champong with him. I think obviously Cucurella at left back. So that completes. Let's see, four. That's six at the in the bottom two of the box.
Okay, you
Well,
said
no, that's
Chalobah
five.
and
Yeah.
Josh.
So Chalaba, um, a
Hey,
Champong.
sorry to
Okay,
interrupt you.
let me
I
plug in your
think
left back.
Fofana
Who's
is
your
back.
left back?
What is it?
Who's your left back?
Yeah, I said Cucurella. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Coachila, we didn't
Cucurella.
mention Fofana. Fofana is back,
Yeah, but he's
but I
not gonna
don't know.
start this game. I think he's yeah. He played the last one.
Yeah,
Yeah, against
that's why
Ajax he played.
Yeah.
I think that's an
It's not.
indicator
It's not.
that
It's not that he's not good enough. But Maresca is
yeah,
going to
but I
rotate,
think it's an
and I don't
indicator
think
that
he'll be using Fofana that much. He'll be managing
right,
his fitness until it's clear that yeah,
right.
we will see that he's in the clear that he's not going to suffer a setback or get injured again and be
Yeah.
on the sideline for 1,000 years. Go ahead.
Like I said, my lineup though is based on what I think he'll do, a mixture of that and what I think the Champions League lineup kind of told us for the weekend. So if that's anything to go by, I think that normally, like I don't know, I think Fofana might come in later, but I think that a Champong and Chalaba will start based on what I saw in the Champions League. So it's Cucurella, Chalaba, Champong, Reece James, and I think in midfield you have Caicedo and Enzo. I don't know. I know Enzo played a lot,
How about
but
Santos?
I
The
think
Santos, the Slavia. Let me just give you the numbers. I have my own. What again? I've
yeah,
selected mine, and let's see who you think starts. You,
yeah. Man, I don't know. Enzo played a lot, but I think that.
you think he starts?
Yeah, I think Enzo might start him again. I think Maresca might start Fernandez
Okay.
again, but I don't think that he'll play as long as some other players because he played a lot in the Champions League. I think he brings on, depending on what the game requires, either Santos or Lavia later. You know, but and then up front, I think Giyu's going to start as striker. I do, and I think that. I think on the right wing I think we're gonna have Neto, and I think on the left probably Garnacho. And
I think Garnacho
again,
starts.
if I had
He
not
didn't play.
seen what's that?
He didn't play the last game, so I think he starts this game too.
Yeah. So again, like I just want to say, like this, I don't know that this is the lineup that I would personally pick, and I don't know that this is the lineup that Maresca, if he had a full
I
week
mean, we're
off, would
having
pick.
fun.
This is what my guess is based on a mixture of what I think Maresca will pick, plus who played a lot in Champions League, and to give the people that needed a rest that he probably wants to play this weekend. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that's probably my lineup. I think I covered all 11. I'm very visual.
Who
I
you
needed
haven't
like a
picked 10?
checklist,
You
but
haven't
I
picked
think
this
that's my
position.
11. What's that?
You haven't picked the 10
The
before going
10.
by the starting structure. Yeah. Who's behind
Yeah.
Magui?
Mm. Oh, definitely Jao Pedro. Yeah. Can't believe I've left my boy out. Yeah, Jao
Did we
Pedro.
disagree? Did we? Okay, okay. My lineup, I think I have Santos. The only place we disagree is Santos here. Okay, but we'll see.
Because
Chances
I
are,
think I think João
yeah,
Pedro served his suspension against Ajax.
yeah, for the Champions League,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
starts
that
this game. Yeah,
allowed him. Well, hold on. Did João Pedro get it? He didn't get a red. Did he have a Premier League red card or a Champions League
no,
red
it
card? I
was
can't.
no Premier League is fine.
Okay, so yeah, João Pedro for sure, and he was able to rest for a full week. So I think this is his time to really go bananas. Hopefully, like he's had a week off of rest or more. He gets to play behind a traditional nine. I think that's what Maresca is going to go for. And if that's the case, I think that João Pedro gets at least one goal. I think he gets on the score sheet again.
Yeah, I agree with you. We did see how good he can be if he doesn't, if he isn't deployed as number nine and has a you can say sole responsibility to keep the defenders at bay or keep them busy. He was so good to watch when Muggy was introduced against Nottingham Forest. He had a lot of fun. I will see that
Mm,
again. I
hmm
think you waste his talent if you use him as a traditional number nine. Even if it drops deep, it's still not the same with him having the
mm,
freedom. You can say no, it's still not the same with him not being the number
hmm
nine,
You
irrespective
know
of whether we use a fluid approach or not.
what's interesting about him is that in the Club World Cup, he did play as an out and out nine a couple times, and he did very well. But I think that those teams afforded a lot more space than he gets in the Premier League. So I think
Mhm.
when you're playing in the Premier League and it's faster and more physical, or when you are playing against a low block and there's not a lot of space, I think that he's going to thrive more in the 10. And I
Mhm.
do think Stevao comes on later. I do. Whether that's I think that all depends on Neto. If Neto's killing it like he normally does and his work rate is through the roof like it normally is, I think maybe he comes over to the left and Stevao comes in on the right. But if he's getting gassed or hasn't had a good day, it might be a straight swap with Stevao. But I do think Stevao's going to come on maybe for a good 30 minutes. He played quite a bit in the Champions League, and not that he can't handle that, but like you have other guys that are well rested. But I do think we're definitely going to see him. And I like that. Of course, I think we all want him to start eventually. It's too bad he's not a natural left winger because I think he would start every match. But based on I mean, he could come in for João Pedro at the 10, or he could come on for Neto at right wing. That's the beauty of Stebao. He's versatile. But I do think we're gonna see him.
Yeah,
Um,
even for a few
yeah, for a
minutes.
good 30
How
minutes.
soon we
Yeah.
see him,
And,
or the
and I
length of
think
time
that,
we see him, or
and I just,
depends on how the game pans out.
I just also want to say, I think that he's, I really think that I just love having him to come on against like a tired team. So if like, can you imagine like Sunderland's kind of worn out maybe at 70, 75 minutes, and then you got Steval coming on to worry about who just is just like an adrenaline shot to the heart. Like that's going to be a lot for them to deal with. So I
Mm.
think he's going to, until we get to a point where he's just too adapted and too good to deny, and I think it's going to come. I don't know when, but it's just like you can't take Neto out right now, and he's not a natural. If it was me, honestly, and we didn't have anybody we needed to rest, and it was like we had a week off, and I had my way, I'd just put
Mm.
Neto on the left and Stebao on the right. But given this scenario, I think he'll come on for a cameo, and I think for the time being, if he's not starting like in against lesser opposition or in cup matches, like he's going to be a killer super sub. And I mean, I just think that as he stakes his claim more and more, if you're the opposition and you see him coming on, that's pretty demoralizing. So that it's kind of nice to have him as that kind of like that super sub.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Anything else you guys want us to talk about before we call it a day? We've been streaming for 2 hours and 19 minutes, and there's not much to talk about. And I've checked also, nothing new has emerged as the show progressed. Yeah, I think we've covered pretty much everything. 1 hour ago, Estevao has been destined for the top ever since he was 8 years, 8 essays. One of the coaches who discovered his talent in Brazil. Yeah, we know that. The key, again, his humility is, my goodness, so humble, more importantly, and his faith moves me, you know. But
Yeah.
anything else you guys want us to talk about before we call it a day?
Yeah,
Uh,
Coachila, what I would like to say is about the betting situation. There was a scandal here with the basketball, and I hope they can also investigate some of the European matches because there are certain results that comes out, and you'll be wondering how and why some of these things are happening. Because if we should allow betting to take over the game, I guess in some few years to come, we are not going to have the real thing. Like the game will be messing up to the extent that some of these betting companies sometimes want to influence World Cup matches. So I think they should start doing more investigations in some of the European leagues and protect the
I
game because yeah,
corruption, yeah, for me, a huge problem in football. Uh,
yeah,
we learned, was it last year, how Barcelona were paying the referees something to that effect.
you know,
Um, but in terms of gambling, that's something football don't take lightly. If you're caught, you get into
yeah.
trouble.
It's happened
Uh,
before in Italy. So,
yeah.
men will always try to do some silly things. So, they should be very more vigilant when it comes to our game because we don't want a situation where in the few years to come, you expect certain games to go this way and it will go the other way. It doesn't, make any sense if
Mm,
people will influence football with money and other things. So, they have to do a lot of investigations and also be more vigilant so that whoever find guilty will be punished severely.
yeah. Tony, anything else you want to talk about before we call it a day?
I just I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts real quick on who do you, I do think Giu starts, but it's striker. Maybe he can go the full 90, but he also just played a lot. So who do you guys, I mean, and look,
I
I
picked
mean, it could be as
good.
simple as just looking at, it could just be as simple as looking at recent history, but who do you guys bring on for Giu, if he can't do the full 90?
Josh,
How do you change up the lineup?
Josh Achimpong. Josh isn't the biggest. He's not the most physical too. But if you bring him on by the
Oh,
time the
you
opposition
mean Tyreek?
players,
Did you mean to say Tyreek?
Tyreek Judge, yeah, Judge. I meant to say
Yeah.
Tyreek Judge. So
Yeah, yeah.
by the
Okay,
time you
yeah.
bring him on late in the game, the opposition will be tired, so his size won't be much of an issue. Plus, we almost play with a fluid approach. Almost always play with a fluid approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah,
I think
he's not my favorite choice there, but I think until Delap's ready, it's not the worst thing to pivot to.
no, it's not. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree, and I'm just happy we're able to cope with the absence of Cole Palmer, and I'm
Oh man.
happy. Yeah, exactly. So we're allowing him to take all the time he needs to heal properly, get fit
Mm.
again, and stay fit. More importantly, long term benefits more than the immediate benefit of him being part of the squad, playing it through pain and all that. It just doesn't make sense. And you could tell even before
You know,
they were
you
open
used.
to the fact that, yeah, he's carrying an injury. He wasn't 100%, irrespective of how good he was.
Mhm. Yeah, you used a good word there, which was cope, and I think we have shown that we can cope without Cole Palmer, and hopefully we're shedding that moniker of Cole Palmer FC now finally.
Yeah.
But I just, can you imagine though when Delap is back and Palmer is back and forgive me, it's been a very long day, but uh, the other
Howell,
the other defensive midfielder
Badeshile,
that we have, yeah,
Esugo.
Sugo,
Esugo.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I can't tell with Betty Sheila. I mean, every 3 matches he's gone again. I don't know when he's going to be back. So let's just say, with whenever, and Caldwell's out for the season, but I mean, I can't even imagine when he's back. But when just Palmer and Asugo and Delap are all back, I mean, I feel like it's gonna feel like some new signings are just. I mean, if we're performing well and coping, and then those guys come back, it's just gonna be like, okay, let's go. Like that's, I don't know. That's gonna be, depending on how long they're out, it's gonna be somewhat of a nice Christmas present. So, um, but yeah, I think that's all I have.
Thank you so much, Tony. I think I squeezed as much as I can from you, even though you joined late. All right, I would say thank you to Bafaniho and Tony Sowe for joining the show. It's been an excellent discussion, and apologies to everyone for postponing the start time twice. It was supposed to be a blue morning show, moved to afternoon, then evening. Not intentional. Bad weather led to a fluctuating internet connection, and we don't want to do that. So thank you to Pamiski for joining the show. AB, thank you so much. Pedro Granja, I appreciate you finding time to join us once again. Who else was here? And we have Marshall Kutikas. Thank you for joining. Chimera, thank you so much for joining. IB, thank you for joining. And if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all. And cheers.
Cheers, Coach.
Cheers, bro.
Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reece's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no